Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Now, look, today we're going to be talking about Toronto versus LA Thieves. Now, first off, I want to say the obvious. It is not Kleenex's fault. Yes, KD wise, he played worse, but when you look at the damage, they're all pretty much the same. So for me, that is a poor excuse on why Toronto lost today. Of course, if he was able to finish his kills and maybe even go on a little bit streak, that could always make the difference. But then he would have been like the MVP of Toronto or even the game. Probably not of the game because Mr. Ghosty went absolutely nuclear, just like he has all damn year. Now look, for me, I am, as you guys, kind of shocked because I put LA Thieves as pretty much the seventh or eighth best team coming into this. The reason is the same thing, kind of what happened today. It's pretty much Dan Ghosty and three NPCs on his team. Yeah, Joe the Thieves can sometimes step up. Yeah, Nasty can sometimes step up. Yeah, Cramp can sometimes step up. But they're so super inconsistent. And Ghosty is clearly not one, but at least two or three tiers above these people. So I do think the MVP is Ghosty, and I do think he's pretty much the heart of the team. If you would take him out for anyone else, like a slasher, or I'm not gonna say Arcides, but that guy sucks. But yeah, if you even put Slasher and IGL for Ghosty, this team would be way worse. Look, for me, I think there's internal issues with the Toronto camp. Now, obviously, everyone says they're always all friends and good vibes and blah blah blah. That's just lies. Just the way Optic coach was saying how the players weren't getting complacent, and then Kenny said they were getting complacent in a different interview. So people lie all the time. So listen, here's the deal, right? Straight up, when Scrappy is not hard carrying and the vibes are not there, the team does not look that good. It's just a bunch of mid. Now, I will say, look, Scrappy did have a lot of damage. He had more damage than his teammates. But look, man, at the end of the day, like, this is a team game. Same thing with Counter-Strike, same thing with Rainbow, same thing with other games. This is a team game. Same thing with soccer, football, whatever you want to, anything. It's a team game. So, like, bro needs help. And for me, I was looking at it today and it just seemed like the coordination was mainly off. Um, you know, Toronto actually didn't look that bad on 6-star Rio. And to be honest, they're like pretty much the best hardpoint team, or they were, and they lost both hardpoints, which pretty much the key reason probably why um the games went the way they went. But also Toronto's S&D was a little bit up and down. It was trending more towards up, but then they smashed LA Thieves, which I was that was the shocker for me. Um because the invasion and Rio, like, no one expected this way. If anything, people expected Neslo, and it went the opposite way. It was a 3-1, and LA Thieves took all the damn game modes. Pretty much the worst team in hardpoint took hardpoints. I mean, this is why Champ's amazing. But look, if you play this series another 9 more times, I do think maybe LA Thieves take it once in a Neslo fashion. Maybe. I don't think this is a common factor. I do think there's just issues in the team. I think there's lack of trust. The way Scrappy's been playing, he's kind of playing like himself, but he's also not. It just feels like he lost the trust in his team and he's making more mistakes, which usually what happens. I've seen so much gameplay throughout my life, especially like CS. Same thing happened with Simple when he started to lose faith in his team. He started to play more aggressive, more a little bit brain dead because he was desperate to get multiple kills and kind of drag the team over the line. Now, let me say it. I don't think this LA Thieves is going to show up the way they did show up against Toronto. And the same thing with Toronto. I do think a better version of Toronto will come in losers bracket. And I do think a worse version of LA Thieves will come out pretty much in winners. I don't think they're going to win against Optic. I'll be really, really surprised. And the thing is, with these bottom four teams, especially LA Thieves and LAG, they're super, super, super inconsistent. That is what they are. So one moment they're looking good, one rotation they're looking good, and then the next they're not. And that was pretty much the factor throughout most of the year on why the top teams were the top teams. Because sometimes the games were close, but these guys would crumble. It was more like kind of momentum was what these shittier teams relied on. Now, like I said, I do think Kleenex is going to bounce back. You know, whatever, minus 17, but he still had the same amount of damage as the other two. Envoy, nothing impressive. Pretty much all year, he's been kind of mid if you think about it. If you take his average, like, you know, performance. And we really need to see the sub duo start taking over on this team. That is the main thing for Toronto. For LA Thieves, the other three NPCs need to step up because I mean, goddamn, like somebody help Ghosty. Like, how many legacy series does he need? How many hard carries this series does he need? Look, the invasion, he closed it out, but that honestly could have gone 2-2, right? That could have gone 2-2, and that could have been Toronto's thing. Then they're up 2-1. You don't know LA Thieves mental. I'm just saying, you guys got to look at the details. So for me, this is an anomaly win. Congratulations to LA Thieves, though. Got to give credit where credit's due, because at the end of the day, you won when it mattered. So, but if they do somehow rematch, I don't know if they can, but if they do rematch, I do think Toronto sweep them, and I do think Toronto are going to make a decent lower bracket run.